What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, we're going to talk about how to be sexy, how to become sexified. Actually, just kind of how to boost your sexiness around him within the first probably 10 seconds, right? Oh my God, that guy's going fast. How is he not getting a wreck? Holy fucking shit. Anyway. If you like my background, as you can see, it's a ghost town. So everyone talking shit. Everyone's saying, why am I in my car? Why am I in these sketchy places? It's because I'm out here early. It's not even 7 o'clock yet. I'm an early bird. If you guys follow me on Twitter or you probably look at the times I comment back to you, it's the weirdest times. It's probably like 12 a.m. and up, right? I had the weirdest, most awkward sleeping schedule. But with that, that's what you do when you have your own hours, right? But with that being said, how do you come off sexier? How do you come off, how do you build that sex appeal with the guy extremely fast? So I wanted to kind of give you, I don't want to say a formula because it's not a formula, but it is how guys kind of see it. And I don't want to talk about the feminine aspect of it or the sexual lure, but I want to talk about the goals of the guy and how you can use that to your advantage, okay? Obviously, logically, again, men are very logical. A man is not going to do anything with you if he's on the other side of the fucking room and you're right here, right? Nothing's going to happen. Nothing is going to happen when you're texting a guy. He's over here, you're over here. Nothing's going to happen when you're at home and he's at home. Basically distance. Nothing is going to happen with distance. You're not going to have sex. You're not going to kiss. Nothing happens with distance because of that gap between you two. Am I right? Of course I'm right. So you have to find a way to close the distance. And that's what the main goal a lot of guys have. They like to do two things. They like to validate them, or they like to seek validation when they're trying to get a woman. They do a little test, right? They might touch you to see how you react. They call it it's called a IOI, an indicator of interest. If a guy puts his hand on you, on your shoulder, back, thigh, something like that, and you don't pull away, it's called an IOI. It's an indicator of interest. It means that she's interested or she's comfortable enough with you not to pull away. Now, I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but that's how a lot of guys look at it. That's number one. So he's trying to break barriers and he's trying to get closer with you and show these IOIs. Okay, so he knows if he can escalate further. Now, the second thing is distance. A guy has to close the distance with you in order to get what he wants. And I don't mean that sexually. I just mean that in general, the woman, right? But we'll speak sexually in this term. A guy's not going to have sex with you if he's over here. He has to have sex with you if he's right here. A guy's not going to kiss you if he's over here. He has to be like that. So a guy, he doesn't know how you feel about him over here. He's going to find out right here where you can read your body language and what you say and how you react to him. So he has to close the distance. So what do you have to do? I'm going to say you're going to have to make this easier for him. If you want, of course, right? I'm not saying this like in a sexual, rape-esque way. I mean, actually, if you're interested in the guy, this is what I would do. The first thing I would do is obviously close the distance. And the first thing I would say is close the distance and grab his arm. Men love the arm grab. I can't even put into words. Hey, it's so good. I guarantee you, do it and you will feel him flex. You won't feel him to flex the first time because he's caught off guard. Do it a minute later, 30 seconds later, you will feel him flex the second time, okay? So the first thing I would do is close the distance while grabbing his arm, okay? Come forward. Now, the reason I say to do that is you don't see a lot of people move forward when they're holding eye contact and they're touching. Usually you move forward through, you might look away and you move forward, or you guys do it talking nonchalant and you do it, or you move out of the way for somebody and you're moved forward, or you might sit down next to him and that's how you move forward. No one actually does it and talks like this and gets forward. No one ever does that, okay? Again, no one actually talks and moves forward like this. I don't know, I just never, or you never realize it at least, right? So the first thing I would do is grab his arm. If you're behind him, hook his arm. If you're on the side of him, hook his arm, right? Hook into it, right? But if you're in front of him, and where you can, or diagonal of him, where you can make the eye contact, move forward and put your arm on his arm, or put your hand on his arm. Hook the back of his arm. Don't rip his fucking shirt like this bullshit. No, that's not what happened to me. I wish a woman was grabbing me and pulling this shirt and ripped it. That's what happened. But I think I'll try to take it off or something. I don't know. It's really expensive too, and it pisses me off. But We're gonna get over that right now. Yeah, but move forward and put your arm on him or your hand on him and hook him. You have to, and again, look him in the eyes and move forward when you do it. It's going to break barriers and he's going to feel masculine. Again, he's going to flex the second time. I promise you that. I promise you he's going to flex the second time because it's just a masculine trait. Like when a girl grabs a guy's arm, it's what he associates with it. The arm's a masculine thing. He likes to, he's going to flex. He wants to impress you. That's another way to tell if a guy likes you or not. Is he going to flex when you grab his arm? The second thing I would do is this is kind of the same thing actually. I would just move forward and hold the eye contact, but I want to tell you why this works. Again, it's the masculine and feminine thing. I remember when I worked at where the fuck was I working? At a restaurant, right? I was a busser, and I was talking to a hostess because I was waiting on the side and she needed me to clean a table. And I remember one time she was shorter than me, but when you're far like this from someone, you can, it's your peripheral, like you're further away, so you don't have to look up or down at someone. But when you move forward and you're shorter, you obviously have to look up at them. And I remember one time she moved towards me and she was right under me. She looked up at me and I looked down at her. And and just the way she talked to me, the way she now she was flirting, obviously. Her and I always flirted, but when she moved forward and I looked down, she looked up at me. She kind of put herself into my she put herself into my chest, it's kind of like this or whatever, whatever it was. She was holding a thing, so. A billboard. Yeah, she was holding a fucking billboard, but she was holding a little clipboard, and she kind of looked at me and put herself in my chest, and I looked down at her, and I remember everyone saw that, all my what's it called, coworkers, and they're like, "You guys look like you were in fucking love." Now we're just good friends, and I didn't think of her that way, but I felt it there too. Even though she was totally in the friend zone, I still felt it. And again, it's that masculine feminine energy. The fact that we got together and I looked down at her and she looked up at me, and that she closed the distance and became very vulnerable and again was in my space, made all the difference. I thought it was very sexy at the time. And again, it was during Friday night at work where a lot of shit was going on. Everyone was stressing, but that moment in time I was like, holy fuck. Okay, so that really worked out. And the third thing I would say is build sex appeal, but show vulnerability. The sexiest thing is a woman who doesn't need a man but wants a man. I remember Matthew Hussey saying this one time, and he's extremely right. He says that a man doesn't want a woman who doesn't need a man, and it's really true. You could be a strong woman who could do everything on your own, but if you're like that with a guy and you're like, I don't need a man, and you show that energy to him, he is going to be like, ew, no, pull away, right? But on the opposite end of the spectrum, don't be this little hissy girl who's a doormat who can be walked over that men don't even respect. You have to be right in the middle. I say you build that sex appeal, you show that confidence, and you're the fucking shit, but at the same time you're vulnerable. It's really sexy too, because when a strong woman lets her guard down just for you or for the guy, for me, I'm like, holy fuck, it works really, really, really well. I remember, again, no story time here. I remember I had this a couple years ago. There's this girl I was talking to, and she, and the reason we don't talk anymore is distance, right? But we're talking for a while. And she was just really, really sexy. And what made her so sexy was that I had a very masculine energy and she had a very feminine energy. And whenever we would talk, you can just sense it, right? I was leading and she was following, but she did it in the right way. She was a very strong woman. She had her own. She made a lot of fucking money. She did her own thing. She bought a house. She pays her own bills. She bought a car. She was a very strong woman, but when she came to me, she was very vulnerable. She was very attractive, of course. She had a lot of sex appeal, but there wasn't no tension, there wasn't no fighting. The conversation went real smooth. And whenever I would have a problem, usually when guys have a problem, they would pull away and go into their man cave or be very analytical about things and try to solve them on their own. That's how I am. I like to write everything down, and I like to solve problems on my own, come up with the game plan, and then go back to the action. Throw myself back in the action. But when I would talk to her about it, You know, it felt really good because I felt masculine, and she was just there to listen. Even when she would give or would not give good advice, it was still very sexy because I just felt like she had that feminine aura. She had that nurture, that caring. She didn't try to be masculine with it. She wasn't like, well, listen, this is what you need to do. Bam, 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 bam. She was there. She was listening. And she believed that I can fix the problem, that I can fix the situation. And I always did. And like I said in my other video, or another video I'm putting up about how to make men commit, you have to have a teammate. That person has to feel like a teammate, not a soulmate. They have to get you to that next level, and they have to have something that you cannot get without on your own. Okay. So with that being said, there's 3 things that I feel build sexual attraction instantly, pretty fucking fast. Again, if it's all about frame, it's all about the aura, it's all about how you present yourself, most likely. But to make it simple, you have to help a guy get his goals. And I don't mean that sexually at all. Don't take it wrong, ladies. I mean that in terms of, a guy's trying to close the distance because he likes you. A guy's trying to come off masculine. A guy's trying to come off, a guy's trying to impress you. He's trying to see where he's at in your eyes. Help him out with that. If you can do that while staying sexy and in the feminine energy and making him feel masculine, you're going to win him over every single time. Literally, it's that simple. So, with that being said, do you feel that you are in a masculine energy? Let's say that's the poll today. Are you in the masculine energy? Or sorry, the feminine energy. Are you in the feminine energy? Do you feel like you are? And subscribe. Get my free ebook below, 254 pages. I love you, ladies. Peace.